Hello and welcome to the Wild Ones Pro Show and what was undoubtedly one of the wildest days of the tour we have seen thus far. It was absolute mayhem.
It really was. I feel like I'm still processing it. A day when the peloton decided to rip up the rule book, and it was incredible. Before we get into it, thanks to Garmin and Van Rysel for supporting the show. Now it's over to Katie to explain what happened.
Where's the start? What a day of racing that was. The first 130 kilometres had breaks and riders popping off all over the place. Clearly everyone was feeling extremely fresh after just one rest day. The only consistent group out front was a break of 5 riders, including everyone's favourite Norwegian, Jonas Abramson of UnoX, Mauro Schmidt of Jayco Alula, and Fred Wright of Bayern Victorious. They were about a minute and a half up the road when a secondary group of 5 riders counter-attacked. That included Mathieu van der Poel, Wout van Aert, Arnaud Delis and Quinn Simmons, and they began closing in on that lead group.
We even saw some attacks coming whilst there was a comfort break on, which is kind of suggesting the traditional rules of the Tour de France when the yellow's relaxed or when they're having comfort breaks, we don't attack. They were gunning for it today.
And we actually saw Astana on the team radio basically said something to the effect of, there are no rules, let's just race or something like that, which was cool.
It was crazy. On the penultimate climb, Quinn Simmons attacked to try and bridge across to the leaders, but Abramson and Schmidt launched from the lead group at the same time to move clear with one excruciatingly tough climb remaining. When the second group arrived on the climb, Van der Poel attacked, dropping the rest of his group and attempting to bridge across to those riders up the road. In the GC group behind, it was all kicking off too, with Jonas Vingegaard launching an attack, but that came too late to make an impact. Matteo Jorgensen also put in a dig, trying to soften up Tadej Pogacar once again.
And then shortly after that, Pog had a crash.
Yeah, he was cut up by an UnoX rider. Well, it looked as if it was cut up at that point, and he went skidding across the road at high speed and collided with the curb. Thankfully, he got back up, but his kit and bike didn't look in the best of shape.
Yeah, did you see it? His right shifter was pointing right the way over to the left. His left one was all mashed up. His chain came off. They managed to get it on, and he basically finished the stage with a shifter pointing very much the wrong direction.
Shifters pointing inwards, I feel like the UCI's ears have pricked.
Well, especially from next year, it was definitely under the, 37 centimetres or whatever it is.
Yes, but we'll let him off under the present circumstances.
After a day of ripping up the rulebook, we did see some order finally restored as the message got through to the GC group about Pogacar's crash, and there was effectively a truce after that allowed Pogacar to ride back onto the group. Cut to the final kilometre where Jonas Abramson and Mauro Schmidt were trapped between trying not to give each other an advantage by launching too soon and trying to keep the pace high enough to stave off the relentless Mathieu van der Poel, who was closing in like a great white shark behind. Cue Jaws music. But the breakaway duo had timed it to perfection, and it came down to a 2-up sprint for the line between Abramson and Schmidt. Then there was some more last-minute drama thrown in for good measure. We saw, for want of a better word, a pitch invasion, with a man running onto the course and almost impeding the sprinting pair. Thankfully, they both managed to avoid him. And in the end, Abramson took the sprint, though no one quite knew what had just happened in the moment.
I didn't care if it was Abramson or Schmidt that won.
Yeah.
I'm happy for both of them.
I think it's just awesome. It's just really good to see. There was a point where Mathieu van der Poel was gaining, and I do think he's great. He has been our people's champion. But it's nice to see other people win. And Jonas Abrahamsson, arguably the people's champion before the jersey existed, not even arguably, absolutely, definitely.
And neon.
What an absolute legend. And also, I will remind you, a guy who had a broken collarbone about 4 weeks ago, I think it was the 18th of June, wasn't even going to do it. His tour was in question marks, and then he's turned up and he's done the damn thing.
It's the comeback story of the race, if not the year. Like, that's spectacular, isn't it? Like, how tough are these guys?
Incredible.
To hold off Van der Poel, going at the speed he was going. So, yeah, I too am really glad that one of the two of them won. It felt like a win that was needed. Proof that you can do the unthinkable and take a win from the break and resist a Terminator like Van der Poel.
Mm-hmm.
But inevitably what we'll see now is him signing for Visma or UAE next season. Because that's what they just take all the talent, don't they?
Yeah, it was just mayhem, I think, sums up the stage today. There was a point where it was a protester and they came onto the course ahead of the two guys come in, and it was like, oh, are they going to collide? An official went on and was trying to sort of body block them.
Did you see the rugby tackle though? That was class.
No, I didn't see a rugby
Did you not
tackle.
see it?
No. I didn't know where to look, Jimmy. There was a sprint finish going on.
Well, I completely missed the sprint finish because I was too busy looking at the official absolutely slam the guy into the railings and then pin him down.
Goodness.
If you're going to protest, you know that there's going to be consequences, and I'm enjoying those consequences. Everyone does have the right to protest, though.
They do have the right to protest. I think no prizes for guessing what the protest was about. The guy did have I think Israel not in the tour T-shirt on. In other news, I think that our jersey, our People's Champion jersey, needs a recount based on what we have just seen. But perhaps we will come on to that in a moment. I think first we should discuss the Pogacar crash.
Yeah, well, I was wondering about a stage 11 curse. We've seen Pogacar struggle on a stage 11 in 2 previous tours, and today he's had a crash. It feels a bit spooky, really. So in 2022, Jonas Vingegaard dealt a big blow to Pogacar's hopes of winning the tour with a big attack. And in 2024, we saw Vingegaard have one of his brief moments of joy at the tour last year, a tour where he struggled, winning against Pogacar on the day when Pogacar famously kind of bonked, run out of fuel, and ended up kind of losing in a sprint, which we hardly ever see. Yeah, what's going on with the number 11? Is it an unlucky number in Slovenia, maybe? Maybe we need to do some research.
I think it will be from now on with POG. We saw a big cut down his arm. There was cuts to his leg where, and his bib shorts had ripped. It's not ideal.
I just thought of something. His bars didn't turn like everyone else that has one-piece stems.
Oh, people didn't like that one-piece
They didn't like it, did they?
No.
So there's an example. This one didn't turn.
Yeah,
they tightened it up properly.
Yeah, maybe a moot point there. No, but it's not ideal. Like, we did see the Visma team asking after him, people saying, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" Which was nice, and also for the people to wait for him, because my first thought was, oh, they'll be off the front. But obviously we know that if you have a crash in 5 kilometres anyway, it doesn't really make a difference to the GC. But nice sportsmanship there, I think. I don't think that there's anyone in that peloton who would want Pogacar to go out or not perform because of this. You want to beat him on merit, don't you?
Of course. Yeah, absolutely. Nobody wants to beat a rival for that reason. And as you say, it was sort of a moot point, but the optics wouldn't have looked good if someone had actually attacked at that point. So it's quite good, really, that they all did the right thing and sort of order was resumed and everything rolled in together. And yeah, we just have to see if it has an impact on Pogacar's body over the next few days. Well, tomorrow, in fact, which we'll talk about later, it might become immediately apparent if it has impacted him.
Oh, I really hope not.
It's the thing is, it's definitely one of those things where Visma will be like, "Oh, it's so sad to see Pogacar crash," but off camera they're going to be going, "Yes,
no, Jimmy,
yes." Just those little things, he'll be a bit uncomfortable and it'll be a bit awkward, and they'll be rejoicing that happened.
No,
they will. That's racing. That's the cutthroat nature of racing.
You mentioned about what is ultimately, I think, going to be a debate of whether the Uno X rider sort of cut across his path. Do you want to sort of explain a little bit about that?
Yeah, it sort of looked like he was following the move. It was all moving across the road, kind of swinging out to the right, and a few guys kind of did this kind of lurch to the right, which you often see when they're attacking at speed. And I don't think the Uno X rider, well, obviously didn't intend to do anything like to impact any rider. He was just following the move. And Pogacar was apparently, I need to look much closer, but checking his rate or on the radio at the time, so perhaps hadn't got quite the control or guard over his front wheel that he should have. So it's kind of a racing incident, I think we could call it. But we'll see if the UCI takes a stance.
Mm-hmm.
Something we did see on one of the earlier climbs was Vingegaard, I guess you could call it attack. Right at the top of the climb, pretty much the last sort of 20 metres, he put an effort in, which Pog responded to. And then immediately afterwards, Jorgensen then burst off the front as well, which Pog responded to. But But they weren't proper attacks. It was just kind of these weird little just like jets of power just to kind of see what happens. But I have a theory that all of these like weird early attacks that Visma are doing, these little like bursts off the front which Pog is responding to, I can only assume that what they're trying to do is fatigue him and just kind of take away that explosiveness that he has. So I think we may see at some point, maybe tomorrow, probably not tomorrow because he'll probably want to tire him out some more. We're going to see at some point Vingegaard put in like a monster Pog-esque attack, and they're going to be hoping that Pog can't respond to it. It just feels like that seems like the only plausible thing. Like all of the commentators that we're seeing, all of the commentary online with media and everything, everyone seems to be saying, what are Visma up to? And surely the only thing they could possibly be up to is just trying to take away that explosiveness that Pog has, whilst they're constantly talking about how Vingegaard has specifically been training that explosiveness.
Yeah, I think that's plausible. I don't think we'd see them trying so much so early in the race when they usually rely on Vingegaard's climbing long climbs if they weren't planning something. And they need to, let's face it, they are behind by a minute and a quarter or something on Pogacar.
Yeah, it's their job.
Yeah, so they have to do something. So I think that they're planning on, I would be shocked if they don't strike first tomorrow. Pogacar doesn't need to. He's in the lead, so let's see how it unfolds. But I think, the explosivity point is a good one, because if he can't immediately jump across to Vingegaard's wheel, then Vingegaard can start to grind out that gap. And if it starts to open, then it could be bad for Pog, but we'll see. It's, again, like how his body holds up overnight. So it might be a moot point, which would be really sad after all this.
It would be sad. It would be sad. No one wants to see that. I hope it doesn't happen.
And I think like the reality is, from my perspective, is what I actually want to see is I am not all for Pog or all for Jonas. I just basically want to see some good racing.
Good racing. And today we got that.
Well, I want to see today.
Yeah,
every day.
Yeah,
this is what we want, isn't it? We
100%.
want good, exciting racing. Hopefully whatever they are doing is going to make for a good race, rather than what everyone was thinking before this all started, which is, Pog's got it wrapped up.
Yeah. So to round out this section, there were no major changes to the jersey today. Everyone retains what they had at the start of the day, which means Ben Healy, officially now the people's champion, Ben Healy, gets a say in yellow. So we put a poll out the day before yesterday.
Yep.
Vote on your people's champion. 67% voted Ben Healy. So he is now in the yellow and in the People's Champion jersey. Well done, Ben.
Can we just appreciate as well, 5.5 thousand votes?
Yeah, it's great, isn't it?
That's amazing.
So Ben, as we mentioned, was in yellow. He also had, as many people do, the head-to-toe yellow set, including a custom-painted yellow Cannondale. There was some sort of I don't want to say drama. There was a story behind that yellow bike, or just the fact that it had to get to him quickly. He was nice enough to get it just before the rest day, so they had a little bit of time to.
Yeah.
To paint
so I on Instagram I follow a guy called Dr. Bobby, who is like, he's got like a weird job title in Cannondale, but essentially he is like a world famous bike painter. His paint, like any of the cool paint jobs you've seen on a Cannondale and probably various other bikes in the past, he has done it. He is the absolute like godfather of custom painting bikes. He actually didn't paint this one because they needed to make sure they get it. But I messaged him. I was like, "Oh, what's the backstory then? What happened?" So he's essentially saying he got painted at their EU factory in the Netherlands. Two of his colleagues from the head office, which is also in the Netherlands, picked it up yesterday evening at 5 p.m. Cannondale being owned by the Pond Group, which is an unbelievably huge company that have a load of bike brands and a load of car brands, loaned the two staff members, which he said were, he would describe them as his fearless colleagues. They borrowed a Porsche GTS, which I'm sure they were quite happy about, from the Pond Group, and absolutely blitzed it, taking it in tag teams overnight to Toulouse, and got the bike to Ben this morning at 7:30.
No, that is a wild story. I'm just putting it out there. I want all of my bikes delivered by Porsche from now on.
Well, if you just approve my request to get one, then you can
No,
have
I
them
knew I
delivered
shouldn't
by
have said
Porsche.
that because Jimmy's obsessed with getting a Porsche and it ain't never going to happen, Jimmy. Sorry. But yeah, what a cool story. That's, it's probably that a team like EF feasibly could never have a rider in the yellow jersey for this competition. So it's not like UAE where they're going to have a fleet of, well, at least, I don't know, a couple maybe yellow bikes. But I think it's nice. You want to celebrate it, don't you? Actually, on that topic, we had an unpopular opinion from listener Brandon, who says he finds it cringe when teams win a special jersey and then turn up head to toe the next day in that colour, even though they'll probably only have the jersey for a day or two.
Nah,
No.
get out of here.
I disagree also.
No. If you are one of the very, very, very few people in the world in the history of cycling that get the privilege of owning one of those jerseys, even for a couple of hours, you go to town on it. You do everything. You do your skin if you can. You do the lot.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, hair. I've seen some hair highlights in the past, I think. But yeah, especially, and I'm going to put it out there, I don't know what it is about it. I'm a huge fan of the polka dot jersey. And I think a full polka dot skin suit with all the detailing on the bike and everything, like, I think that just looks absolutely cool.
It is class.
It's
Isn't it?
class. Like, come on, let's celebrate these things as brightly and as loudly as possible. It's cycling.
Yeah.
Like, is it not the brightest, most cringe sport anyway? So let's just embrace it and lean into it.
Yeah.
You could argue it's actually quite camp.
I mean, yes.
Or just
let's
European.
Go. Why not? European, just European. Is it camp or just European?
Yeah. Definitely not just a one-day affair, but Remco Evenepoel has lots of gold stuff, one of which is a gold Tax turbo trainer. I think Garmin decked it out, decaled it for him, and we saw him training on that at the last TT, probably the next TT too. I mean, again, well deserved, and I want to see more paint, body paint, gold. Midas touch.
I actually nearly messaged our Garmin people and said we now will only accept gold Garmin products going forward.
Delivered in a Porsche.
And like this bike that I have over my left shoulder, that now needs to be a gold one. Because everything needs to be gold going forward.
Yeah, why not? Camp it up. Not camp enough. Anyway.
Camp and arts.
Yeah, camp and arts, yeah. Right, next. We are now big time enough that we actually were able to get some interview time with some of the riders of the tour over the past week. And actually, weirdly, a lot of the riders we saw in the break today as well, which is incredibly exciting. So we wanted to make sure that we used our time wisely and asked them some incredibly hard-hitting questions. So we have done that, and we've edited it together in a section we're calling Settle a Debate.
Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Cats.
For sure, dogs.
Dogs.
Cats.
Dog. Dogs.
Cats.
Dogs.
None.
Any other animal?
No, not really. I prefer human beings.
Eating pizza with your hands or a knife and fork?
Oh, hands, 100%.
Knives and forks.
Hands. For sure, with hands.
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 With knife and fork.
It depends where or the occasion, if it's fancy or not, but normally with fingers.
A bit of both.
Hands.
Maybe knife and fork, and then at the end, a bit of hands.
Is it better to be smart or lucky?
Smart.
Lucky.
Lucky.
I think lucky.
Smart, and then you can create your own luck.
Well, that's a tricky one. I'd say smart, but sometimes you need a bit of both.
Better to be smart because then maybe you get lucky also.
Smart. Because I am smart. And not lucky.
Smart. I don't know. I feel like if you're too smart and spend too much time thinking about things, then it sometimes gets overcomplicated.
Depends on your strength. If you're one of the best, it's okay to be smart, or it's enough to be smart. But if you're not one of the strongest, you have to be lucky as well.
I'm just imagining it, if you're in a world where you were the luckiest person on earth, you'd have a better life than if you were the smartest person on earth. There you go, that's actually quite a good answer.
It's a smart answer though, which is a
That
worry.
is a smart answer. yeah.
Would you rather have fingers as long as your legs or legs as long as your fingers?
It's terrible.
Probably fingers as long as my legs.
Fingers as long as my legs. I don't think the legs with the fingers would work.
Second one.
The second one?
I don't know why. It sounds better.
I'd rather have legs as long as my fingers. I'd be a little
He does have a really tiny bike.
Yeah, I wouldn't be a cyclist, let's face it.
I don't know. Both.
Fingers as long as my legs.
Fingers as long as my legs.
Oh no. I'd rather be dead.
My finger longs like my legs.
What a question. Impressive. Next one.
Which teammate would you pick to survive a zombie apocalypse?
Which teammate?
Lady Martinez, because he would scare them off.
Really?
Sure, I know because he's so hyped up and you will kill him. Jared Brisner because so the same humor that me. So if we died, but if we didn't die, we still
have each other's humor.
The first that comes to mind is Eduardo Sepulveda, just because then at least you can have fun and have a laugh.
I feel like Kamil Gradek, he's a pretty tough cookie, so I think he'd be good.
Difficult. Dylan, I think he's wrong.
I'll take everybody because we will be zombies.
I had a teammate once, Wayne Tuft. He's a Canadian champion and he's a real mountain man. So if we're ever in the trenches, I think I'd pick him.
Cedric Bullis because I think I know him the best.
Quinn Simmons, because he's got the tools.
Do you have a hidden talent, party trick, or a cool skill?
I'm a good time at a party, high energy. I like a good karaoke and I can play the drums.
Oh, nice. That's cool. What's your favourite karaoke song of choice?
I actually go for Linkin Park in the end. I can do both versions, the rap version and the yelling, because it really doesn't matter if you've got a bad voice.
Well, I can crash my bike when I close my eyes. It's a good skill to have.
For imitation, I'm good, but it's just a French movie, so.
Okay.
Sorry. Hidden talent.
Nothing.
I only can ride a bike.
I've learned how to juggle.
Oh.
This year.
Can we pause and find some balls for you to juggle?
I'll have a go.
Woo!
That'll do.
Nice.
I can do over the tops. Oh no, I can't.
Maybe that I'm quite good with cooking. I like to cook.
Favourite dish to cook?
Traditional Slovenian dishes such as filled peppers or moussaka dish with potatoes and ground meat.
Nice, that sounds amazing. And also Jimmy, our presenter on the show, has picked you for his fantasy team, so he's asked if you can, do him a solid and get a few stage wins. Or maybe
I
one.
will take care of that, yes, thank you.
You better take care of it, because I haven't checked the league in a while, and I'm assuming I'm going further and further down.
No stage wins yet. You never know.
Well, tomorrow.
Yes. I have to say thank you to Garmin for sorting out the Lotto boys and Movistar. And also thank you to Katie because you interviewed so many of them as well.
Yeah, it was really funny. Asking professional athletes whether they'd rather have fingers as long as their legs or legs as long as their fingers is the highlight of my journalistic career thus far, I would say.
That's about as journalistic as we get here on CADE Media. Sorry, Katie. I realised when I was putting that together as well, can you imagine being clever enough to have learnt a second language so proficiently, and then some British fools come up to you and ask you a question, would you rather have fingers as long as your legs or legs as long as your fingers? That is hard enough to wrap your head around when English is your first language. So apologies to those boys for that.
Apologies, but also I think it's a bit of fun. I don't think that most journalists are asking these questions, and it's probably a little break from the norm.
Yeah, fair. I'm going to pick out some points here. Mauro Schmidt said he thought it was better to be smart than lucky. I wonder if he would have changed his answer after today.
Having said that, if he wasn't smart, he wouldn't have ended up sprinting with a 50% chance
Correct.
Of winning the race. So I think he proved his point.
Very true. And that's one of the reasons we were, not the only reasons, but one of the reasons we were really rooting for Mauro today is that we knew he was coming up on this, and he was so nice to have given us his time as well. So I'm sad for him that he missed out, but also a great achievement even to come second, I think.
Definitely.
Arnaud Delis, I didn't hear quite what he said his secret talent is. I've asked the PR to confirm. So I felt he said magician or musician or...
French.
But he said something about then French movies or music or something like that. So jury's out on that one, but we will let you know. I also have a fun fact for you about Fred Wright. His dad was in EastEnders and Line of Duty.
Which will mean nothing to about 60% of the viewers of this video.
Yeah, just Google EastEnders. It's a soap opera here in the UK, long running. Finally, I have questions for you. Do you guys have any hidden talents or party tricks?
I generally like to showboat, so most of my talents are known to the world.
Good answer.
I was once a regional yo-yo champion in Cardiff.
True, yes. I've seen you walk the dog or
Split the atom.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's good.
Amazing.
What about you, Key?
It's not really hidden. I used to play in bands, so I can play bass and
Oh, you
stuff
play
like that.
bass?
Yeah.
Wait, you guys have been looking for a bassist in the CADE band.
Really?
Your call-up's coming, Katie.
Why is it bassists are always tall?
You need long fingers, and I don't know, you need to sling the bass low as well.
And slapping the bass. You need fingers as long as your legs.
I knew that question would come in handy.
Now we know the real meaning. We're hunting for bassists.
Well, no one asked, but my hidden talent is I can make a really good pig noise. You know this.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Do you want to hear it?
I really do.
Okay. Sounds like a pig.
Oh, it's
doesn't
really
it?
impressive.
Thanks.
It isn't. Don't encourage it.
Don't
It's
humour me.
not impressive. A better one is that you can pretty much call any dog breed within about 3 seconds
Oh, I
of
can.
seeing
I
a
know
dog.
a lot of dog breeds. Yes, that's my special interest, definitely. And of the pro peloton, who would you guys pick to survive a zombie apocalypse with?
Oh yeah, I was first in on this. I don't know if I've stolen someone else's possible suggestion, but I went in with Matteo van der Poel for 2 reasons. He's an absolute engine, but he is actually pretty big, so he's going to be like strong. So I'm like, Matteo, carry the 20 litres of water. I'm the small one. Stick me on your back and just keep walking. All right, stick me in the 20 litres of water on your back. Let's get up that hill.
He might not appreciate being called Matteo, though.
Matteo man, Matteo man, get that water on your back, would you?
What about you, Kay?
Well, I'd go for Niels Pollitt, I think. I think he's quite menacing, isn't he, to look at? I think he might scare the zombies away. And also he can, like Jimmy said, you need someone who can kind of, carry lots of water and do lots of hard work for you. And I'd just hide behind him and just go along for the ride.
Nice. Well, I also thought Quinn Simmons, very much like Tom Swinge, for protection.
Yeah, he's definitely got a collection of guns, doesn't he?
I mean, I'd unconfirmed, but yeah, perhaps. Although I genuinely, in a zombie apocalypse, I don't think I am looking for survival because I don't think that would be a world that I'd want to live in. So probably just to go down laughing, I'd maybe pick someone like Geraint Thomas.
What, like watching him getting mauled by zombies would be
just
hilarious.
for the crack and the laughs and stuff.
Look at him get ripped up.
Should we wrap this section up and move on?
Yes, let's. The Wild Ones Pro Show is supported by Garmin.
And we are in some really good company because Garmin also supports some of the very best riders in the Tour de France and the Tour de France Femme.
Yeah, they work with teams like Visma Bikes, Soudal Quickstep, SD Works Pro Time, FDJ Suez, and many more.
And because Garmin provides these teams with trainers, head units and wearables, they've got access to mountains of incredible data.
And they're going to share some of that data with us throughout the coming stages. So we'll get a really interesting insight into the physical demands of the most prestigious bike races in the world.
So please stay tuned for that. And once again, thanks to Garmin for supporting the show.
How would you like to win a Van Rysel RCR-F 105 Di2 worth £5,000?
I would love to. I've ridden that bike. It is proper good.
Well, sorry, Jimmy, you can't. But one of our UK listeners will, thanks to our sponsor, Van Rysel.
That's class. The RCR-F is literally a Tour de France race bike.
Yeah, the official bikes of Decathlon, AG2R, Le Mondial.
The 105 version has the same grade of carbon that the pros ride.
So to enter the draw to win this bike, click the link in our description. You must be a UK resident, age 18 or over, and T's and C's apply. One winner will be chosen by Van Rysel and contacted by them a week after the draw closes at midnight on August 4th. I sound like one of those radio adverts, don't I?
No, it wasn't fast enough. So good luck, and thanks to Van Rysel for supporting the Wild Ones Pro Show.
So to end the day, we will finish off with the preview of the tomorrow's stage, stage 12.
Yeah, caveat before I begin, there was so much going on in the stage today, I didn't really get around to writing a very in-depth preview, so it's a bit rushed. It is what it is.
It is quite an easy one, though. It's basically flat, load of mountains, GC boys, have some fun.
Yeah, exactly. If you want a bit more detail, I'll tell you that it begins in Och. I'm not quite sure how you pronounce it. It sounds like a German name to me, but there you go. It's basically flat for the first 91 kilometres. Then we have a small Category 4 climb and an intermediate sprint, a bit more flat. And then it all kicks off with 3 big climbs, a Category 1, a Category 2, and finally a summit finish, our first HC climb of the tour, the Hotekam. 13.5 kilometres at an average gradient of 7.8%. The climb has been kind to Jonas Vingegaard in the past, and it will be the first chance for the Dane to test his legs in the high mountains against Tadej Pogacar.
I'm buzzing for this.
It's going to be good.
This is going to be class. Well, I hope it's going to be class. I hope we get fireworks like today again, but maybe a GC set of fireworks would be pretty cool, wouldn't it?
It would. So YouTuber Amy Cycling Adventures is currently riding all of the stages of the Tour de France and the transfers, which is a wild statement. She is, at the moment, quite ahead of the group. She sent us a video from the top of Hotekam, and she said it is brutal.
Right, I'm at the top of the Hotekam. It was absolutely brutal. I'm drenched in sweat. You could literally wring my jersey out right now. But the views were gorgeous, so that got me up here. I don't want to do it again for a long time, and I'm ready to descend, let me tell you that.
So yes, we are definitely, I would say, going to see some fireworks. I want to see the same amount of craziness as we did today. Definitely, that's the bar is set.
Are we going to have any energy left after today? Maybe it'll just be a nice sedate day, a nice gentle mountain ride. I don't think so, though.
Amy's also going to be sending us some other previews from other stages as well.
She is, yes. She is doing it as a charity ride. It's absolutely massive, 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 the ride that she's doing. I can't remember what the distances and the elevations are off the top of my head, but the Tour de France on its own is about 55,000 metres of elevation, and the transfers that she's doing is pretty much doubling the distance. It is like astronomical. She is an unbelievably strong, incredible cyclist, and everyone should go and follow her. She's already raised £40,000. Wow. So we'll put some links places, and you should go and donate and support her as well. She's amazing.
And watch her stuff.
And like, we've met her in person. She's just the nicest person in the world. Just so like normal, not like a hardcore, like we know people that do these kind of challenges, and they're hardcore cycling people, which are like, you know, you can only talk to them about bikes.
Yeah.
They can't talk about anything else, whereas Amy's like an actual human being that also rides bikes.
Just so incredibly positive as well. I've seen some of her previews for the other thing. She's like, that was tough, and I got up it. I'm like, okay, we are different people. No, thank you very much for that. We will return tomorrow with tomorrow's
stage
action.
See you then.
Yep. See you then.
Bye.